just you. Thank you, buddy. All right, let me talk to you about prayer and the Holy Spirit. Prayer and the Holy Spirit. Turn with me to Luke chapter 11 and Matthew chapter 6. So, what we're going to do today is I'm going to preach for about 30 minutes, 25, 30 minutes, hopefully no longer than that. How many of you can give me 30 minutes at the very most? 30 minutes, put your hand up. All right, 30, 60, 100 and 120. I'm doing well. I've got plenty of time in my hands. Thank you so much, guys. But turn with me to Luke chapter 11 and Matthew 6. Luke 11, the Gospel of Luke, and also the Gospel of Matthew. Luke 11 and Matthew 6. And so put a marker on both of those passages. And again, today I want to talk to you about prayer and the Holy Spirit. As you know, this month I have been calling the church to pray because I believe the Holy Spirit is calling us to pray. Amen. Prayer is a big deal to God. And the united prayers of the church, the extraordinary prayer life of the church is a big deal to God. Amen. It is a big deal to God. Prayer is not a trivial matter to God. Prayer is not an optional side issue. The corporate prayers of a united church is a big deal to God. At the beginning of this month, I brought to your attention what Jesus said in Matthew chapter 21, verse 13, and other passages in the Gospels, where he said, "My house shall be called a..." Come on now, folks. House of prayer, right? And in Isaiah, the passage there completely says, "My house shall be called a house of prayer for all the nations." The church is, how many of you know the church is the house of God? So when Jesus was saying, "My house shall be called a house of prayer," in other words, he's saying the house of God, the church of the Lord Jesus Christ, is a house of prayer. And I'm not talking about the building. I'm talking about the people. I'm talking about the congregation. I'm talking about the gathering of believers, that the gathering of believers is the house of prayer of the Lord. Amen? But also, you are the house of prayer. Because the Bible says in 1 Corinthians chapter 6 that you are the temple of the Holy Spirit. And therefore, you are a house of prayer before the Lord as well. Amen. So when Jesus claims, "My house shall be called a house of prayer," he's claiming both the congregation, the church, the body of believers as a house of prayer, and he's claiming you to be his house of prayer as well. Amen? You personally are the house of prayer of the Lord. And 2 weeks ago, when I introduced this topic to you, this idea to you, it was simply that to share with you that a prayerless house is and again, when we talk about house, we're not talking about this building. We're talking about the belief. We could be gathering outside. We could be gathering at a cinema. We could be gathering anywhere as a local church. And it's that house that is to be a house of prayer. Amen? I'm just trying to check out who's sitting in the front row of out in the foyer. People just don't want to sit in the front row. Just want to be sitting right up the back where the backsliders are. I see you backsliders. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. You see, even inside, there's nobody sitting in the front row. It's not like I've got that much spitting power, right? And you're wearing masks. All right. Anyway, let's move on. But again, a prayerless house is a powerless house. A prayerless church is a powerless church. A prayerless believer as the house of God, the temple of God, is a powerless believer. But a prayerful house, when you are prayerful, you have access to the power of God. Amen. When we as a church don't treat prayer as a trivial thing or a side issue thing or an optional thing, but we make it priority in the life of the church, then we become a powerful house. Because prayer equals power. Amen? So my question is, and my question continues to be, what's Jesus going to find when he finds you? When he visits your house, you as the house of the Lord, the temple of the Lord, what's he going to find? Is he going to find a house of Netflix? Or the house of, I don't know, whatever you're into? right? Or is he going to find a house of prayer? And what have we turned our house into? But I want you to, again, remind all of us today that Jesus is claiming his house to be a house of prayer. Now, last week, I spoke on what? I spoke on prayer and forgiveness. And last week, we looked at that passage, the Lord's Prayer in Matthew chapter 6, which we're going to look at again today. But here's what happens when you go deep in prayer. Is that when you go deep in prayer, when you find yourself experiencing the love of God as you go deeper and deeper in prayer, as you experience more and more of the unconditional love and reconciling love that God has for you, and you find yourself being healed by his love, you'll find that the Holy Spirit will lead you to your broken relationships so that you can there forgive and experience healing. He's not going to let us off the hook. Right? He's not going to let us off the hook of our pain and our hurt and our bitterness, particularly in our relationships. Right? And so what the Holy Spirit wants to do as he brings us deeper into prayer is he wants to heal us in prayer through the power of forgiveness. And listen, I've got a strong sense in my heart as I've been praying about this message that I believe the Holy Spirit's just not finished with that yet. I believe that even today in this service, that the Holy Spirit wants to minister to people and set you free from broken relationships and hurts and pains from the past that are still influencing you today. It's still affecting you today. And, and so we're going to create room for that in a little while. But listen to me. And again, I'm still speaking on forgiveness, but, one of the things that's happening in our culture is people are canceling one another out. When you don't like someone, you just cancel them out, right? And listen, canceling people out of your life is not a Holy Spirit strategy. It's not. It might bring you temporary relief, but it's not going to heal your heart. You cannot find healing through canceling. You can cancel people out, but you cannot cancel the pain or the hurt out, right? Eventually, later down the road, that pain and that hurt will spring up again. A root of bitterness will take root inside you unless you deal with it in the power of forgiveness, right? And if you don't deal with it, that root of bitterness will spring up, and all of a sudden you'll be like, where is this coming from? It's because way back here, you didn't deal with it in prayer and extend forgiveness to the people that have hurt you and have caused pain in your life. But listen, the Holy Spirit's here. Again, I really want to create room for this in a few minutes where we're going to let the Holy Spirit move on people's hearts and minds and give you the grace to forgive and minister to you and set you free. Come on. So good. Thank you for your enthusiasm this morning. It's just amazing. So turn with me to Luke chapter 11. Luke 11 and Matthew chapter 6. And we're going to look at Jesus' teaching, one of Jesus' teachings on prayer. And we've come to know this teaching of Jesus as the Lord's Prayer. And we're going to read it together, and then I'll make a few remarks about it, and then we'll move into a time of worship, and we're going to let the Holy Spirit just minister to people. Amen. Luke chapter 11, beginning in verse 1, it says, "Now Jesus was praying in a certain place, and when he finished, one of his disciples said to him, 'Lord, teach us to pray, as John taught his disciples.' And he said to them, 'When you pray,'" everybody say you. "When you pray, say, Father, hallowed be your name, your kingdom come, give us each day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins. For we ourselves forgive everyone who is indebted to us, and lead us not into temptation.' And Jesus said, 'When you pray,'" okay? So the word "you" there is actually plural. It's actually not, it's not singular. The concept, the context of the Lord's Prayer is corporate prayer. It's group prayer. It's not, today we treat the Lord's Prayer as this is just me and my prayer life with the Lord. But when the Lord originally taught the Lord's Prayer, it was corporate. The context was the group of disciples and the group of believers that were around him, and he was teaching them to pray together corporately. All right? And so this is consistent with Matthew chapter 6. Now let's turn to Matthew 6. Verse 6, it says, but when you, and this is singular, so this is you individually. He says, when you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen. Then your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. And that's you singular, okay? That's not you plural. Verse 7, it says, and when you pray, now this time it's plural. He moves from the singular to the plural. He says, if Jesus was texting, he'd say, when y'all pray. Or he'd say, when all y'all pray, which is like really everybody. Do not keep on babbling like pagans, for they think they will be heard because of their many words. Do not be like them, for your Father knows what you need before you ask him. This then is how y'all should pray, which is again plural. Right? So again, you can see here that the Lord's Prayer, and I guess I just want you to see, we live in a culture that is fiercely individualistic. Fiercely, it's all about me. I had a problem with a Bible college one time because their marketing was, it's my call. And I thought, wow, it's not about your call. It's about it's not, help me, Lord. So what I'm trying to say is, often we try and understand our call as if we were all by ourselves. But when Jesus calls us, he always calls us to be, number one, sown and planted and baptized into his body, which is always corporate. And then out of that, we understand our call. I understand my call based on my call to the body and my relationship to the body of Christ. And I believe that my call personally is never bigger than the call to the entire body of Christ, to the entire local church that I serve here. And I would, please, far be it from me, when I come to the day where I feel like I am bigger than this church, or I am bigger than the corporate call of God and the vision of God for our church. Because I really believe with all my heart that the calling of God is primarily corporate. And then out of the corporate, we understand our personal role in that. All right, so here's Jesus teaching on the Lord's Prayer. And then he says, our Father. And that's why he says, our Father. He doesn't say, my Father in heaven. He says, our Father. So you can see here the corporateness of the Lord's Prayer. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread and forgive us our debts, as we also have forgiven our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us deliver us from the evil one. I'm so sorry. That's not a good prayer to pray. Deliver us into the evil one, but deliver us from the evil one. So Jesus said that when you pray, you personally, when you pray, that you are to what? You are to pray to your Father who sees what is done in secret, and he will reward you. Everybody say secrets. There are 3 areas of life. Let me just share this very, very quickly. And all of these 3 areas are defined by relationships, okay? So let's say that outer area out there in the foyer, everybody out in the foyer, give me a wave if you can hear me. Okay, thank you. You're still alive. You're not watching something else on your phones. That's good. So out there is the public area. All right? In here is what I'd like to call the private sphere. And then here, right here, is the secret place. All right, 3 areas of life: the public, the private, and the secret. Everybody say it with me: the public, the private, and the secret. All right, the public arena is where we find our work, our workmates, our relationship with our colleagues, and our work, and all of that stuff. And for the most part, that's the public arena. Friends and acquaintances, that's all public arena. Some family and some extended family, to me, I consider them public arena. Some level of the body of Christ and church relationships within local church, to me, is public arena. All right? But then the private sphere brings it a little bit closer, right? And the public sphere is where my spouse is in that space, right? And my close and my intimate friends are part of that space. My covenant friends are part of that space. My covenant brothers and sisters in Christ, my covenant partners in life and in ministry and work and in calling, they're part of that private life. Now, here's what happens for many people and for many believers. They only see life according to those two spheres. The public area and the private sphere. The public arena and the private sphere. I want to suggest to you today that there is an even more important, more core, more central sphere of life that you need to be investing into, that you need to be cultivating. And that sphere is the secret place. Amen? It's the secret place. And that's your prayer life. That's your relationship with the Lord. That's the area of life where everything springs out of. Power springs out of the secret place. And here's what happens is that when there's power in the secret place, that overflows into the private arena of your life. And when your private arena is healthy and it's being supplied by the grace that's coming to you in the secret place, then that overflows out there into the public space. Are you following me? Right? A lot of people, here's what happens. A lot of people invest in the public arena. Some people invest in the private space, but very, very few know the power of the secret place. And what I'd like you to do, my encouragement for us today, is don't neglect the secret place. I encourage you, invest in the secret place. And when your secret place, when that's cultivated and nurtured, again, it will overflow. And it will bring power and it will bring life into the private arena of your life. Right? And, and for me, here's how I see it. Is that, it comes from here, and then it flows into here, and then it overflows into there. Right? And I think for us, for me and my family, the way we see, for example, the area of ministry and the area of just serving in local church and serving in the house of God, and having done that for many, many years now, and just, doing what we've been doing just plotting and faithfully doing what we've been doing. Really, to me, if this is not healthy, if this is not invested in, and it's not overflowing into here, and it's not going to overflow into there. Really, to me, I treat ministry and I treat church life as an overflow of what happens in here, and then what happens out there, right? And I think the worst thing that we can do is just invest out there in the public space and fail to realize that, hey, this is actually drying up. All right, so again, I want to encourage you, my house shall be called a what? A house of prayer. And this applies to the church too, by the way, but we don't have time to cover that. We'll do that next week. Okay, let's go back to Luke chapter 11, and we'll finish up with this part here. Luke chapter 11, beginning in verse 5. And Jesus said to them, which of you has a friend who will go to him at midnight and say to him, friend, lend me 3 loaves, for a friend of mine has arrived on a journey, and I have nothing to set before him. And he will answer from within, do not bother me. The door is now shut, and my children are with me in bed. I cannot get up and give you anything. Now, again, you just got to understand there's a cultural thing about this. Back then, they didn't have supermarkets or grocery stores or any of that kind of stuff. People really depended on their neighbors and depended on one another. Village life was very much. How many of you grew up in a kind of like in a non-Western environment where you and your neighbors, you knew each other's business. You just lived so closely together as a village, and you depended on one another. And if you run out of supplies, you go over and run over to the neighbor. And so it's kind of more like this than, if you apply this to our current culture. It's like if your neighbor knocked on your door and said, "Hey, it's midnight. I need some supplies." You'd be like, "Go to 7-Eleven, mate. What are you doing bothering me?" Right? But back in those days, they didn't have 7-Eleven. They didn't have Kohl's or Woolworths or any of these 24-hour things, right? So people were really depending on one another. So this is kind of like the cultural context behind this. Verse 8, "I tell you, though he will not get up and give him anything because he is his friend, yet because of his impudence or his bold," what does impudence mean again? His bold audacity to make bold and daring requests, right? He says, "But because of his impudence, he will rise and give him whatever he needs. And I tell you, ask and it will be given to you and you will find. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds. And to the one who knocks it will be opened. What father among you, if his son asks for a fish, will instead of a fish give him a serpent? Or if he asks, maybe I'll do that, I don't know. But verse 12, if he asks for an egg, give him a scorpion. If you then who are evil," this is Jesus full of grace, it's like, "If you then, fathers, you are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will the Heavenly Father give the what? The Holy Spirit to those who ask him." So here's what I want to finish up with, and this is where I want to ask the worship team to get ready, please. Because the ultimate and the highest goal of prayer is Holy Spirit. My prayer life, in my own prayer life, I'll probably go through a prayer journal about 3 times a year. And, as much as possible, I'll try and write something every time I come to the Lord in prayer. And my prayer journal is full of lists of things that I'm requesting and asking God for. And though that list can range from anything from personal requests to requests for my family, requests for holidays, and more money, Lord, amen. Oh, that you would bless me indeed. Requests for ministry, prayer requests for ministry, prayer requests for finances, prayer, I've got lists for every kind of category that I can think of in life. And I have no problem with lists, okay? And in fact, I want to encourage you, if you don't do a prayer list when you pray, your prayer life with the Lord will increase and get so much better if you learn how to have a prayer journal and you're writing down what your requests are before the Lord and then going back and revisiting them. About a month ago or 2 months ago, I bought a 1-year Bible. And so what I've done is, instead of have a prayer journal separate to my Bible reading plan, I put everything on my 1-year Bible, and all my prayer requests are on there, and I come back and I revisit those prayer requests on an ongoing basis. So what I'm trying to say is, I would recommend you have prayer requests, prayer lists that you bring up to the Lord. And one of the things that I was reading the other day was Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1. By faith, now faith is the substance of, come on everybody, of things hoped for, right? And the word things hoped for jumped up in my Bible reading. And the Lord began to speak to me again about it, remind me about the importance of when you hope for something, you don't just hope for ideas and abstractions and concepts, but you actually hope for things. In other words, specific, quantifiable, measurable things that you can describe and you can define, right? Because if you can't define it or describe it, it's hard to release hope and hard to release faith, right? And sometimes we Christians, we're like, oh, I'm hoping for this, and you know, you often what I like to do is I like to ask more specific questions. And I say, you know, all right, what exactly are you hoping for? What exactly are you believing for? And I find a lot of Christians have very abstract ideas about what they're believing God for. But I want to encourage you, it's faith is the substance of what? Things hoped for. And I really, to me, I find, and this relates back to my list, because what I do with the list is that I try and clearly define as clearly as possible the things that I am bringing to the Lord in prayer. And if you don't have a prayer list where you're listing down the things that you're hoping for, I want to encourage you to do that. But here's, to me, this is where, as important as that is, that's not the highest goal of prayer. The highest and the ultimate of prayer is the Holy Spirit. When we go deep in prayer, and here's what I find is that, and I found this in my own life as well, is that really I don't go deep enough. But if we were to go deep enough in prayer, if you were just to linger a little bit longer in prayer, you'll find yourself in a place where the Father will do such a work in your heart that He'll cause you to long for more of the Holy Spirit. He'll cause you to cry out to the Father and say, Father, I want more of the Holy Spirit. And again, this is why this is the theme that we're going to go into next year, is more Holy Spirit. More Holy Spirit. And the highest goal of prayer is Holy Spirit. Amen. So what we're going to do is we're going to sing, and we're going to praise, and we're going to worship. All right? And we're going to invite the Holy Spirit here. And one of the things that I've learned in life is that, and in ministry, is that the Holy Spirit is the best minister. And so we're just going to give Him free reign. We're gonna literally, I'm gonna pray, and then we're gonna sing some songs, and then we're going to engage with the Holy Spirit. Okay, are you ready for that? I'd like you to stand right now. I'd like you to stand. I'd like you to put your things down. I'd like you to put aside right now maybe phones or anything like that might distract you. And we're gonna sing. This first song is called "Who You Say I Am," and then the second one is we're gonna sing "Great Are You, Lord." Psalm 22, before we sing this song, Psalm 22 says, God is enthroned in the praises of His people. God is enthroned in the praises of His people. When we praise God, we're not just doing the religious Christian thing to do. You know, that's what Christians do. Is, we're going to praise God and et cetera, et cetera. But really, when we praise God, there's a transaction that goes on. God is enthroned in the praises of His people. The presence of God comes, and He is enthroned. The word enthroned obviously carries the meaning of, His authority and His power begins to sit in the place where His people are praising Him, right? How many of you have been in a situation where it feels like you're being attacked from all directions, and then you just stop and you pause and you take some time and you just praise God, and all of a sudden you sense His presence, you feel a shift inside you, and then the atmosphere around you begins to change. Why? Because His presence is enthroned in our praises. Amen. By extension, that also means that the presence of God dwells where praise happens. Amen. And so I want to encourage you today, your praise is literally the highway. It's the place, it's the throne where God sits. It's the highway where God comes and moves in. All right. And I want to encourage us, all of us here, as we sing this song, let's engage with the Lord. Let's not just sit and observe. I mean, you can. It's a free country. It's up to you. You can do whatever you want. But I want to encourage you, if you want to now, now the sun's out. Be still, my heart. Praise the Lord. All right, and so what I'd like us to do is just really engage with the Lord. Amen. So let's do that right now. Just if you want to close your eyes, close your eyes. You want to stretch your hands out to heaven, do that right now before Him as a sign of surrender. And just do something that would just communicate to God that, God, I want you. I'm setting aside this next few moments just to engage with you. I'm setting aside all distractions, Lord. I'm giving you 100% undivided attention right now. I give you praise. I give you glory. Come on, would you lift up your voices and just from your own lips release praise to God. I bless you, Lord. You are the love of my life, and I am the love of your life. God, I am crazy about you. Lord, there's no one like you. God, I've been following you for over 20 years now, and I can say I'm still crazy about you, even crazier than what I was when I first started out. God, and I sense your presence here. I love you, Lord, because you first loved me. I praise the great love that you have for me. Come on, you lift up your voice to Him and just praise Him. Praise Him. Give you glory. I give you praise, oh God. There's no one like you. Holy Spirit, as we sing this, as we sing songs to the Father, as we sing songs of the love of Jesus for us, Holy Spirit, I pray, come and just begin to fall on this place. Come and begin to fall on people's hearts right now, Lord. In Jesus' name, in Jesus' name, in Jesus' mighty name, in Jesus' mighty name. Come on, just worship Him. Worship Him.
Who am I that
We love
the
you, Lord.
highest
We love you,
King
Jesus.
would welcome me?
We honor you, God. We bless you.
I was lost, but He brought me in. Oh, His love for me. Oh, His love for me. Who the Son sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. Free at last, He has ransomed me. His grace runs deep. While I was a slave to sin, Jesus died for me. Yes, He died for me. Who the Son sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. Who the Son sets free, oh, is free Yes, I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. Oh, who you say I am. Yes, I'm who you say I am. Who the Son sets free, oh, he's free indeed. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. Oh, Jesus.
Amen. Amen.
Oh, Jesus.
Let me just say one thing before we move on to the next song. You know, in a setting like this, the Holy Spirit is moving. But whether the people of God are responding is another thing. I find that I've been in gatherings, many different kinds of gatherings, to know that the Holy Spirit is always willing to move. When He's invited, when He's responded to, when the people of God respond to His promptings and His impressions, and to the even like just the slightest impression of His presence, when the people of God are ready to move on that, I find that the Holy Spirit is always willing to move. But what I find is sometimes the people of God are just so easily, I don't know, I guess distracted, and we tend to think about a whole bunch of other things in praise and worship. You know, we tend to think about the style of the music, and they should have done it this way, or they should have done it that way, or you know, or we're thinking about what's for lunch. You know, am I going to have this, or am I going to have that? Where are we going to go? And we fail to respond to what the Holy Spirit is actually doing in you as you engage with Him in a setting like this. And I find that in a setting like this, the Holy Spirit could be placing impressions on people on an ongoing basis. But because we're off, distracted by a whole bunch of other things, we actually miss what the Holy Spirit is doing. You know, the Holy Spirit could be wanting to minister to you, for example, in the area of what I was talking about before, the area of forgiveness. You know, He might be bringing up in the middle of praise and worship, a name comes up or a face comes up, and you think it's a distraction, but actually what it is it's the Holy Spirit speaking to you, but you're just quick to brush it off, and rather than go follow that with the Holy Spirit, we end up brushing it off, and we end up missing what the Holy Spirit is wanting to minister to us in that moment. And so, you know, or maybe for some of you, you might feel like a sensation on your body, like a warmth or a heat or whatever it is, and you know, you might just brush that off and go, you know what, it's hot in this place, or you know, they haven't got the aircon right again, and whatever it might be, right? But what it is actually it's the Holy Spirit beginning to move in this place, but we're just so quick to brush it off. And so what I want to do is I'm going to ask the team will sing one more song. As we do this, I want you to heighten your sensitivity to the Holy Spirit. What is He speaking to you about? What's He impressing on you? What's He doing right now in this moment? Be present with Him in this moment. Don't go thinking about what you're going to do next after the service, but just right now, give him the gift of your presence as he gives you the gift of his presence in your life right now. Can we do that? Just give him undivided attention. In Jesus' name. In Jesus' name. Let's sing. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
You give light, you are love, you bring light to the darkness, you give hope, you restore every heart that is broken. Great are you, Lord. It's your breath. It's your breath in my lungs, so we pour out our praise, pour out our praise. It's your breath in my lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. You give life, you are love, you bring light to the darkness, you give hope, you restore every heart that is broken. Great are you, Lord. It's your breath in my lungs, so we pour out our praise, pour out our praise. It's your breath in my lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. It's your breath in my lungs, so we pour out our praise, pour out our praise. It's your breath in my lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. It's your It's your breath in my lungs, so we pour out our praise, pour out our praise. It's your breath in my lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. All the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry. These bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. All the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry. These bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. All the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry. These bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. It's your breath. It's your breath in my lungs, so we pour out our praise, pour out our praise. It's your breath in my lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. It's your breath in my lungs, so we pour out our praise, pour out our praise. It's your breath in my
sense the Holy Spirit wanting to release a deeper blessing on certain people here in this place who He is beginning to move on already. And as we've been worshiping the Lord, what I'd like to do is I'd like to pray for people where you are. You don't have to come out of where you are right now. But if you're sensing the Holy Spirit doing something in you, coming upon you, resting upon you, just a sense of His presence around you, in you, surrounding you right now, what I'd like to do is I'd like you to, number one, acknowledge that by putting your hand up, and then what we'll do is some of the people around you, we're just going to stretch our hands out towards you without touching you or anything like that. But we're just going to say, we're just going to bless what the Holy Spirit is doing in your life right now, whatever that is, okay? And I believe as we do that, as we begin to agree with how the Holy Spirit is flowing in people's lives, that there will be an increase of what He is doing in this particular moment. So who's here today, as we've just been singing this song, and you're just sensing the Holy Spirit is here. The Holy Spirit's on me. He's saying something to me. He's doing something in my heart. He's doing something in my life. Could you just put your hand up? And again, what we're going to do is we're going to pray for you. So there's my Hannah up the back there. She's got her hand up. Anybody else? There's Bill over here. Even though he's working, he's still engaged. That's good. There's Jen over here. That's great. Anybody else? You're just sensing. Yeah. We've got Brianne over here. We've got Prabha over there. Could you just stretch a hand out towards somebody who's near you and just begin to like literally verbalize blessing over them. And what you're doing is you're saying, God, I want what you're doing in my brother or my sister's life to prosper. God, whatever it is that you're highlighting in their life, whatever it is that you're impressing, right now, God, we bless that in the name of Jesus. And we say more, Holy Spirit. Come on, would you just do that right now? Just do that right now. Turn to the person that you're praying for. Stretch your hand out toward them. Open your eyes. I want everybody's eyes to be open right now. And just look at the person that you're praying for. And stretch your hands out to them. And pray in faith and say, Holy Spirit, I bless what you're doing. I bless what you're doing, and I pray for an increase. I pray for more right now, God. More, Lord, more. If it's healing of the emotions and past hurts, God, right now I speak more, Lord. More. I bless what you're doing. Let it prosper. Remove every obstacle right now, God, in Jesus' name. Remove every obstacle, God, that might come in the way of the blessing of the Holy Spirit on my brother's life, on my sister's life. In Jesus' name. Come on, go ahead. Just proclaim blessing over them. Thank you, Heavenly Father. I bless my brother and my sister in Jesus' name. In Jesus' name. In Jesus' name. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Thank you, Heavenly Father. I want to pray for, there's someone here as we worship, not just today, but it's kind of like it's becoming something that's like a pattern in your worship, is that there's a condemnation that comes in as you try and release worship and praise to God. And rather than your heart desires to worship, but in your mind there's like a wall of condemnation that comes into your mind and into your thinking. And it seems like it stuffs down the worship that's wanting to rise from your heart to the Father. And you feel like instead of worship becoming this wonderful experience that you've always wanted it to be, it's like it becomes this frustrating experience because you're like, I want to praise the Lord, but this thought pattern seems to always, come against it. And it's condemnation, and I want to break that off your life right now. We want to break that off your life right now. Who's that? Could you just put your hand up so we can pray for you? And okay, there's one lady over here. Anybody else? There's no condemnation in this. This is the body of Christ ministering to one another. Right? This is the body of Christ just serving one another and ministering to one another. And there's no I'm better than you or I'm less than you or anything like that. This is the body of Christ being the body. Maybe it's from here, from the worship team as well. We want to pray for you. Who's that? You've got. Here's another person that I want to pray for. As we've been praying here today, again, the word migraines came to my mind. Migraines. It's like you get into this zone where you're like, man, this debilitating migraines, and it just I guess it's connected to the condemnation thing as well. But I just want to pray for somebody who's been experiencing migraines a lot lately. Is anybody here like that? You've been experiencing migraines a lot. Okay, we'll pray for you, Paul. Anybody else? Debilitating migraines. It's like it literally stops you from functioning because of the pain and the migraine that you experience. Okay, so we'll pray for the breaking of that condemnation. We'll pray for the migraines, and then I've just got this impression that somebody's got a painful wrist. It's like a chronic thing. It's like an ongoing thing in your life. It's like, but when it hits hard, and there's like a tightening of the wrist, particularly the right wrist over here. Anybody like that with like a wrist condition of some sort? Okay, let's pray for the condemnation. Let's pray for the migraines. So you here in this room, could you stretch your hands out towards Paul? Paul, stop playing. Feel free to stop playing for the moment, and just open your hands to the Lord, and just receive it. Maybe put your guitar down, Paul, and just put everything down that might stop the flow of the Holy Spirit on your life. And then also we'll pray for Marion as well. In Jesus' name. So all of you who are out there in the foyer, just stretch your hands out towards Marion. In Jesus' name. That's it. That's nice. Just the keys. Just the keys. So very gently. Come, Holy Spirit. Come, Holy Spirit. Come, Holy Spirit. I sense that flow. It's Him in the room. God, we just honor you, Lord. We honor your presence, Lord. We honor the presence of the Holy Spirit, the gift of the Father. Come on, so just come, Lord, come. Come and just rest on Paul right now, God. Come, Lord. Come, Lord. And I just break the power of condemnation in your life, Paul. Break the power of condemnation, the lies of the enemy about who you are, about your destiny, about your future, about the things that God has planned for you. Hallelujah. Your time's not over yet, far from over. The best is still to come. Hallelujah. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Thank you, Heavenly Father. And if these migraines are being influenced by anything other than just a purely physical force or a physical source, in the name of Jesus, I break the power of these migraines right now. I command every spirit to stop. In Jesus' name, I rebuke you, and I rebuke these migraines in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Jesus, for the healing touch of the Holy Spirit on Paul's body right now in Jesus' name. In Jesus' name. Thank you, Lord. Come on, you here in this room, just begin to pray for him. Begin to pray for him. Begin to bless what the Holy Spirit is doing. Just say, Holy Spirit, I bless what you're doing. Father, I pray for Marion right now, God. Hallelujah. Marion, I just want to ask you to extend your hands out. And just, yeah, that's it. Just in a posture of receiving. Posture of receiving. Just, that's it. The love of the Father. Perfect love casts out all fear. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Sense the love of the Father for you. Sense the love of the Father for you. It's almost like I can see it. It's like a tangible flow of the love of God. It's resting on your shoulders right now. And it's like a honey dripping from heaven, just flowing right now in Jesus' name. Thank you, Lord. Breaking every trace of condemnation in Jesus' name. Thank you, Lord. Setting you free to worship like a little girl just before your Father. And the Father has your full attention. Oh, hallelujah. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for breaking condemnation so beautifully, so gently out of Marion's mind right now, in Jesus' name. In Jesus' name. So just linger in his presence. Just linger in his presence. I want to pray for people who you're saying, I want to go deeper in God in worship. I want to go deeper in God in worship. The Bible says that we worship by the Holy Spirit. And I believe the Holy Spirit's here and he wants to release you to a place of just deeper worship in him. Just deeper, you're uninhibited, you're unashamed. There's no, sometimes in worship we can be so self-conscious. You know that feeling? Or is it just me? Maybe it's me. You need to pray for me. But you know, you can just like, you put your hands up and you're like, is everybody looking at me? What are people thinking? You know, and we get, rather than being God conscious in worship, we end up becoming very self-conscious. And so just in the remaining minutes that we have right now, if that's you and you're saying, I want to just go deeper in worship. I want to experience more of God. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. How's that feeling, Paul? Good? Good. Just that's it. Just receive more, Lord. More, Lord. More, Lord. More, Holy Spirit. Fire fall on Paul, God. In Jesus' name. In Jesus' name. In Jesus' name. Increase faith in Jesus' name. Gift of healing on your hands, Paul. Gift of healing. Authority to heal the sick. Authority to heal the sick in the name of Jesus. Just the flow of the gift of healing through Paul's life, God, in Jesus' name. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. In the marketplace, in the workplace, even in your family, in your home. In Jesus' name. In Jesus' name. The healing flow of the Holy Spirit. Hallelujah. So if that's you, just say, I just want to experience a deeper dimension in worship. Can you just raise your hand quickly, please? I don't want to draw this out for too long. But you're saying, I just want to go deeper. Thank you. Thank you. All right. A lot of hands are going across the room. So if your hand's not raised, can you just stretch your hand out towards somebody? Keep your hand raised if that's you. Keep your hand raised if that's you. This is the whole point, is that we want to break the power of self-consciousness and bring you into a place of God consciousness, where you're just so consumed by God, so consumed by the presence of Jesus. Hallelujah. So right now, Lord, Holy Spirit, upon the entire church, it's about the whole church right now, God. We've got our hands raised to you, Lord. Oh, bring us into a deeper place of worship. There's no God but you. There's no God but you. God, don't let the love affair stop. Don't let the love affair stop, God. Don't let the love affair stop. Oh, it's a love affair. It's a love affair. Arise, my love, my fair one, and come away.
Oh, you're God's beloved. You're God's beloved. I can just sense the love of the Father for you, Sebastiani. The love of the lover. Oh, he's just saying, come away with me. Come away with me. Go deeper. Go deeper. Go deeper in me. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. More, Lord. More Holy Spirit. More Holy Spirit on Sebastiani right now, God. In Jesus' name. In Jesus' name. In Jesus' name. Can you and Mr. Prakash hold hands quickly? Just want to speak a blessing over your marriage. Heavenly Father, and the two shall become one flesh. The Word of God says. And Father, where there's a sense of Lord praise. Let's give the Lord praise. You're in this room, Lord. You're in the room. You're in the room. Hallelujah. We bless your name. We bless you, Lord. Come on, just linger for a little bit longer. Just linger for a little bit longer. We love your presence, God. We love your presence. Sharbara prata rababa katara masot. Sandara mayara baba sharaba makaraba. Hallelujah. It's your breath
in my lungs, so we pour out our praise.
Thank you, Lord.
Pour out our praise. It's your breath in my lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. It's your breath in my lungs.
We give you honor, we give you glory, God.
Pour out our praise.
Hallelujah.
Pour out our praise. It's your breath
Into that deeper place
in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only.
Sing it again. It's your breath.
It's your breath in my lungs, so we pour out our praise. Pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. It's your breath in my lungs, so we pour out our praise. Pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only.
Thank you, Jesus. We give you glory. We give you praise, God. Your praise will always be on our lips. Better is one day in your courts, Jesus, than 1,000 days anywhere else. God, I would rather be a doorkeeper in the tents of my God than to dwell in the tents of wickedness. In the house of my God, Lord, I would rather be a doorkeeper. Oh, we bless you today. We bless you today. In Jesus' name. In Jesus' name. Hallelujah. Hey, why don't you give somebody who's in your family group a hug and our service is over. God bless you. Thank you for your coming out on a Sunday morning. Fantastic. God bless. God bless. And if you want further prayer, just come up and love to pray with you again.